very funny that Diablo's like, oh, Cyan's on my team. I can lock in Cyan now. It's fine. There's no way I'll walk into my own team's queue.
Yeah.
It's really fun because I did actually think that was a good Saya game. Yes, a known moderation.
Yeah, while I was moderating. Speaking of moderation, we're not using heal in moderation, and Parak is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Diablo may also be in trouble as Peter trying to get that kill back, but it does not work. And the Lovers duo, they just destroy Parak, and he has no way of doing anything. Doesn't flash, doesn't cleanse, didn't have a chance to.
Must not have seen him. I thought the trap vision was enough, but looks like that wasn't the case, because the way BDD was playing, he definitely wasn't aware. Because Will got the double scuttle, but not having flash is a big deal with something like the Xin Zhao. Yeah. Always having an opportunity to make your life very, very difficult.
Well, BDD coming on over. Raptor is still here, but Vickler is still dead. First blood goes over to BDD. And there is some assist gold that helps even out the trades. Diablo gonna have to get out of there. The heal was invested by Kellen as Cuz is dashing around. I don't know whether pouncing back in there was a good idea, but he creates the distance. Peter comes in as well, and now Raptor just wanted to get out, did manage to get one of the grubs and flashes over the wall to safety. As Cuz will be able to continue exerting his pressure as, all right, the Scion leaves the station as Parak.
No, not again, not again, not again!
Solo killed by a Scion. It would be absolute travesty as the chains are going to connect. BDD has decided that he's winning this game. 100%. And Casting could be in trouble here, but before he goes down, he grabs the double.
I think that might still be okay, as maybe it was Casting that wanted to demolish. I feel like BDD probably, because he is playing into a ranged matchup, probably just went to resolve classics, but who knows. I feel like BDD, with how he's playing right now, is actually trying to win free laser. Pretty clean.
Oh god, why did you have to say it?
Well, because I want to give credit where credit is due. I feel like both these teams thus far have played, you know, it feels like outside of the bot lane where I do think Parak maybe messing up a little bit too much, I've actually been, yeah, it's been good so far.
Well, can theoretically get clear over if he does want to join a fight as BDD comes in, steals away the quickness, but he's thrown out pretty immediately. Both quicknesses almost ran into each other. Oh, that would have been way too charming. Pop Blossom connecting onto two as Vickler is the one that's in trouble. Parak dancing around the fight. The spear is going to hit, but not do enough damage. As now they're just, never mind, Cuz, have your license back. It's in the mail, don't you worry, it's okay, you feel free to drive. Feel free to drive, you can drive without it. None of the police are gonna pull you over. Absolutely beautifully done.
Kellen, that was your moment! That was your hard will go on, I'll catch this one for you, I got you, buddy, moment!
He's not playing Alistair, so it doesn't fit.
Well, the Nico does remain in place, but Talia in particular, I think, just poses such a big problem if you need to approach head-on. So they can't really lose map control. So the fact that they're able to now extend the gold lead is a really big deal.
BDD also being able to grab that first turret for KT to look for. As they do have a 2,000 gold lead, they will have a monopoly on the Dragons as well, as this one does go down. Cuz has his license, and it's a Chemtech Drake. Orcs is on the desk right now, and we can confirm that he is asleep.
Where's the cam?
BDD, who decided he didn't want flash. As Raptor's just going in. Okay, looking for Peter, seeing whether he can get something done as in goes Kellen, but misses the grand entrance completely. And out goes the Nidalee with the disengaged cone. And now Casting's coming down, but he's sandwiched. Pop Blossom only onto one as Kellen not going to get CC'd, and now BDD's teleported in. Raptor's going to die as Vickler comes on over. And it is going to be a dead Kalista on the back end, but he was already so incredibly low. Another quickness from BDD, and he's going to be able to stop the Q, but it does not matter. He's just right in amongst all of BNK and dies.
Oh, we were talking about, but that was a colossal mistake from BDD. Done now, and that is also the biggest individual gold lead that we do have.
And isn't that what System of a Down coined when they made the song Down with the Quickness? Flashes up, gotta get down with the quickness. That's the lyric. System of a Down. We knew that they were lyrical geniuses, but it's just, you learn new things every day. As now, Kellen, Diablo, and Raptor all sieging this outer turret in the mid lane. KT, not a lot of options, and yeah, Otacon is just being taken.
So my call is that they knew that this was happening, but given the vision control that's towards the top side of the map, they just didn't think they could get anything. So in that light, getting mid lane turret does make sense. This is also...
Maybe they just have no idea that this is just being taken.
They definitely do.
Got it.
And they get the... I think that's a fine trade.
Well, we are going gardening here.
Because, so for BNK, I think most of the decisions, I don't think they'd necessarily outscale guaranteed, right? Like there's comps where you, because the range advantage I think is still there for KT, as long as BNK are hesitant on engage or something of the sorts. So I think going for the cross map when you're not 100% sure you can take the fight, that's in League of Legends, by the way.
Absolutely is.
My God, between the gate as well as the Ghost Blade, he was zooming around.
I thought he had phase rush, and then I had to remember, I was the one that talked about the Ghost Blade.
As we now have no flash for clear. I do think the flash for casting is more valuable as
Kellen is quicknessing.
No
they do get the knock-up onto casting, but he boops Raptor away.
BDD?
Is that enough? That's the question. Is BDD? The rocks are on cooldown. The rocks are on cooldown. They take down the Decisive. Peter finds the Pop Blossom to end all Pop Blossoms, and then is saved by Puddock. Still, KT need to find another angle. They're wrapping around from every single other one. But can they actually get in there? Can they start the fight that they're looking for? But they're playing with their range so beautifully. Puddock trying to stay alive, and he turns it onto Raptor. Vikkla's going to go down. BDD is so incredibly low, but Diablo is untouched in the back line. 3 versus 3 now is the result, but Cuz is still there with all that long-range damage. And they are moving now towards KT's base. This ward here is so incredibly valuable as Cuz. He does spot it out. And now Clear could be in trouble. Puddock free hitting, not going to get knocked up, and he is just dead. The Zombie Scion is now going to be the result. And KT, when they do play it slow, it works. And Diablo,
as we say that,
in a bit of trouble.
They're going to keep going.
Yeah, Kellen doesn't have the quickness, but he is still pretty scary. There's the pounce forward, and Cuz still looking for more. Raptor running real quick, and we don't find the route from Peter. Now back away, KT, please.
And we do actually see how hard Clear is to kill, unless he gets focused solely. His casting, that's some damage numbers, Atlas.
It really is. Puddock also much higher numbers than I was expecting, as that is a nice route, but it's on to casting. In goes BDD as Raptor now having to deal with BDD with his own ultimate. Puddock is bouncing around the back of the fight, but Diablo once again untouched. Peter in a bit of trouble, but it's Raptor that's on the floor, and Diablo pulls back the feathers, but there's no follow-up. Puddock is a psychopath just dashing forward, and they take down Clear first. Puddock is in, then he's out, then he's back in again. He's got his eye.
Glanced the rocks! He did it!
Oh, that was gorgeous! And yeah, I don't know what happened to the guy at level 1. Oh yeah, we're face checking.
KT.
The teleport to try and get one of them out of there. Yeah,
Wait, you found recall!
And
no
the
way.
recall.
No way! No
They're going to
way.
get interrupted to the skies, ladies and gentlemen. And Diablo goes down. It's a double for casting. I really thought they were going to get out there. That would have been exactly BNK versus KT energy. Instead, KT manages to take down the entire bottom lane and peak. As KT, they pick up the Baron. They also pick themselves up Soul Point. And they're going to look to utilize their composition that just works so well.
For the rest of the team, Puddock should be in the back line anyway, and Peter obviously can be pulled back in. But there is still a lot of engage power on BNK. As long as KT respect that, I think they're cruising toward a victory here.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like as the poke is starting to come in. As Clear, he goes for a bit of an engage. As Raptor boops half of the team off the wall. As Peter, it's a great Pop Blossom. Kellen going to be the first one to go down. Raptor also dead. BDD, he gets caught by the feathers, but there's no follow-up. And Clear's a tank, but it doesn't even seem to matter. The Featherstorm is decent as BDD flashes forward to look for Clear, and down goes Diablo. Peter, you don't have any damage. And so unfortunately, you're not going to be killing Clear here, but KT will be able to find the team fight.
He's zoning!
Yeah, there was some gorgeous zoning as well. And look, he didn't die, so it's obviously flawless. 15-8 the kill score here in favor of KT, and I don't think we're going to see a Chemtech Soul this game as the first inhibitor goes down, and KT are looking to put the first nail in their second game win of the season and knock BNK down a peg or two as BDD goes in. Man, it's good to see him rewarded for a phenomenal early game on this Silas, rewarded by dying next to these dead Nexus turrets of his enemy. He realizes now, finally, he can rest as KT picks up a win. It could have been Fiora or Kale.
You know what this is actually good for? Is the setup for a third game.
True. That being said, I think that, you know, if the Kale was picked, that would have been better setup for a third game. We would have got there much quicker.
That is true. Puddock might be in some serious trouble here. Even with just Kellen, he's at risk. He does have cleanse this time around. Obviously going to get a lot of failure in that. Can Peter be in time? I don't think so.
Well, they're going to see what they can do.
Oh, yeah, they're waiting for Raptor, which means that there is actually time, and the wave is already thinned out.
Yeah, in they go. Grasping Roots comes down as now Peter gets on in there. Stranglethorns through as well as the Ignite's ticking, but it's not enough. Always drink your potions as Raptor, you absolute insane man, as the True Shot Barrage doesn't do enough, but still Diablo taking matters into his own hands is going to be able to get it done. Peter, with the headbutt, will be able to take down the Plant Lady, but it's plates going on over to the Ezreal.
That is going to have to rely on Peter or Paddock finding access to that as we have another Raptor gang.
Yeah, him and Kellen making their way in. There's the flash Zenith blade. The headbutt pushes Kellen back as there is no unbreakable will. And so Peter will instead be broken. There's a nice pickup there for BNK as the hop out from casting. He's just kind of messing with Clear right now. That sidestep, gorgeous. As casting's Gnar play looking scrumptious right now. 3 grubs will go over to Raptor in the interim. I'm on this Gnar. We were making fun of the pick, but actually it was probably a good idea as the stun comes through. Another headbutt pole as the Ignite is down. Kellen is going to be taken first. The Stranglethorns does basically nothing as the Chaos Storm used in tandem just made sure that there was no way that this tanky support was going to survive. It switched.
The teleport advantage they also couldn't utilize. Clear had his, whereas Casting didn't, but Casting kept the wave shoved up and was sitting on his Narbar pretty well as well. As
getting himself out, flash invested.
He doesn't have his ult, otherwise he would have used that.
He was pretty scared of the situation though. I think that if he was solar flared, he probably wouldn't have died, but not a lot of information available.
Yeah, he didn't know, right? Knows that he couldn't have backed yet. Could have been doing a turret, but...
Well, Paddock going to cleanse the Solar Flare. Chains of Corruption as the flash forward from Raptor goes straight into those chains, but sandwiched into the wall, squished like a bug from Vikla. And that's going to be feats of strength of warfare at least going over to BNK, and they'll take just all of it. As first turret goes over to them as well, so some nice new shoes.
See, and also Leona just kind of hates it when you do that. But now, with this, BNK further building upon the lead.
Yeah.
Peter though looking to punish.
Kellen has spotted out. Solar Flare is going to be on where BDD used to be. And Kellen might actually be sacrificed here. They still do manage to pick up the Rift Herald, but KT once again put Kellen in the ground.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, KT. That's a lot invested just to kill Leona. I'd still just go for a delayed contest as Paddock takes a free headbutt to the face.
Yeah, he's Diablo able to drive Shelly into this tower, and it does go down. Vikla and Diablo a fair bit of structural damage.
They're taking Dragon, KT.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time positioning around here, KT, and you've decided you're not going to go in. Hex flash forward here from Peter. Try and find an angle. Let's see whether they can actually get one, as that is the Drake secured by BNK, but now the fight is on. Vikla in a bit of trouble. Chaos Storm being dealt with, but now Diablo gets his fangs into BDD. Misses a whole bunch of abilities, though. And once again, Kellen's on the floor. Now Diablo finds himself the target instead of the attacker because he gets a turn on him. Has a great ulti, but does get himself out. True Shot Barrage doesn't go the right way to lock down the Viego. Action this game, that certainly feels good. Oh, actually, less action.
Less, yeah. I will
never mind. So that feels bad. I was just trying to find a positive, and that was going to be a positive until I got it completely wrong. But now, we might have another team fight as Diablo going aggressive, throwing out a whole bunch of buttons towards Peter and Cuz, who are now very, very low. But Cuz is still in range to smite this. It's still a 50-50. This could still be a disaster as in they go, and it's locked down by Raptor. Peter now in trouble. Diablo gone completely ballistic.
Casting?
As they get themselves the Otacon as well as more. Is now Casting looking to send them all home, but instead, he's going to give a triple kill over to this Ezreal, as Paddock could be in trouble, but they don't have the vision on him. And
all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Diablo's a great basket.
He is a pretty good basket, as there is another cleanse out from Paddock, and you can't cleanse death, unfortunately, so it doesn't quite do enough. Casting now trying to deal with Raptor and Diablo.
Still died.
Yeah, there's like every ult
flashed
used as well, basically. That's all right. BDD upgrading himself a little bit here, but I just don't know whether it's quite going to upgrade enough. BNK here looks like Raptor will not be contested on that one, as Diablo is also just taking this inner turret with impunity. Absolutely nothing Paddock can do about it. I thought that Mystic shot missed, but Paddock maybe walked into it by accident there. As BDD being very vocal in the player cams, and you can understand why. This guy has had a pretty good game. As teleport in from Vikla. Clear is extraordinarily low, though, as the Narbar has been filled. The all-out does come through here, as that wall upon it, too, is fantastic. He nars them both away, but it's just too many. And it's Vikla that's able to lock down the kill onto the Gnar.
Does get a free Baron smite off. I don't think there's a way to lose this game.
Well, there's Pulverize from Peter. but I think he's the one that's going to get pulverized. He does have the unbreakable will, but it's looking very breakable.
Well, that was cute. He tried to... keeps going in.
I think a piercing arrow landed. BDD is actually hitting a bunch of these death rays, but the Baron is still just going down. And Cuz, 1 versus 2 here, and he's going to have to heartbreak away. He does do so, but he's, even with Flash, is still dead. Casting looking for a bit of an angle. The Baron is going to be secured. And BNK now looking to wrap this up with a team fight as well, as KT trying to get the damage down. It's a decent crush to get Casting out of there. Vikla attempts to go on over as the Chaos Storm coming on through, but Clear is just so tanky. And Diablo is going to be able to find Peter once again. He was fresh out of the death chamber and is immediately back in there again. And KT, I mean, we knew this was going to be a 3-gamer.
Diablo?
But this, yeah, Diablo is just messing with them now. Another one, Arcane shift over, misses a bunch of buttons, but he'll have another one as Padak just charges up a Q, and it just does pitiful amounts of damage.
The last AD carry, or Challenger AD carry, saw be this completely unhinged.
There from Raptor in order to get a beautiful Grasping Roots. Yeah, this is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Emperor's Divide is going to hit the cow, and Peter walks it off. Vikla goes golden because he thinks it looks cool, and it does. As the inner turret is going to fall, and BNK, they can do stuff like that because it doesn't really matter what they do now. They are so incredibly far ahead. 9,000 gold at 28 minutes. And Cuz just having to back away from Clear, who is a raid boss in unto himself. They'll take this inhibitor turret. The rest of KT, they are grouped. They're looking for an angle. The Stranglethorn, though, is going to block off Peter from the rest of his team, and Diablo is going ballistic. Nexus turret's now under fire. BDD does use his Zhonya's, and Kellen and Vikla are taking a fair bit of damage, but honestly, it just doesn't matter, as the True Shot Barrage is going to destroy this Viego. Diablo, what was that? That was super strange, but never mind. Nexus turrets are still going to lie on the floor as Vikla, he's flashing, he's looking for more. He takes down BDD and Padak, and the Nexus will fall, and BNK will bring us to a game 3. That honestly has been exactly the game plan that's won games for BNK FEARX. Really beautifully constructed here as far as the teamfight comp is concerned.
This is also a dream game to play, MF. You know something? Yeah, here we go.
Yep. We're fighting on a couple of fronts here. That's going to be the way we're playing this out. As Padak finds the ward onto Diablo. Yeah, and he's stacking it up here. That's a brilliant cocoon, and now the Ignite is down. This is what you were talking about. They can go in on Kellen. Padak's flashing forward. He finds the first blood, the revenge of the Psyduck. You love to see it. Oh, yeah.
First things first. This is what's supposed to happen. Key thing there, I think, is that Kellen actually got his...
it just gets solo killed by BDD. Oh, and hands off keyboard there from Vikla, and look at that smile.
Actually get to steal a lot of resistances, doesn't have Aftershock. He is squishy.
Oh dear. Kellen.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. In a lot of trouble here as he's trying to make his way over towards this turret. Casting's looking to try and get it on in there, but there goes the Rel.
Dive clear.
Yeah. And now it's all set up.
They can dive clear.
Padak's going to turn up. Clear is wondering what the heck he's supposed to do here as the Spiderlings are also in. Diving this is so easy. Cuz going to be able to back away, and in fact they have so many champions that are so good at diving turrets. My God.
And KT fans completely losing it. Guys, we're 3 minutes in. You know, let's chill a little bit as the electrocute there from BDD.
And first Drake is going to be going over to BNK actually here, as Cuz is prioritizing the grubs instead. So the first Cloud being picked up as, oh God, every time an ability flies forward, I get scared that Vikla is just going to die again. As Cloud Drake going to be picked up like we were talking about, and it is going to be the grub secured as Padak just babysitting Diablo and Kellen, making sure that they stay in their lane. That is exactly what is going to happen. Vikla thinking that now is the time to go home, but that there is no one else here.
If they had vision, he would be dead.
Oh, he should
or at the very least would have flashed us.
Instead, Cuz going to make his way in. Diablo will get stunned up, but only momentarily, as Peter will find that cocoon, and BDD is going to pay a visit. Kellen going to get taken down as there's the bullet time. Peter says, not even close, baby. And now, Raptor making his way in. There is a dead BDD. And so Vikla does get a little bit of revenge, but perhaps we're typing worth in the old chat.
He's a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah. BDD? No.
No, it's all vibes. As Cuz looking for 6 grubs, we know that that can be a detriment as far as stats are concerned.
Okay, we need to we need to let that joke retire because people have no idea what we're talking about. Like, I didn't do anything today. I guess you always just by existing.
Well, then maybe you
something.
learned that by not doing anything that day, it didn't make you all that happy, and so you...
All right, well, I guess we're cooked.
Yep. Cuz looking for an angle, and the arrow is going to fly down. The Magnus Storm is going to eat a lot of the CC, but I think the KT are going to eat Kellen. And that is indeed what happens. That is a Rel very swiftly dispatched of, as Puddock looking to make his way down once again. Diablo going to try and get him out of here, but Puddock's actually pretty strong, as we know. And so happy to stand his ground. Raptor going to move on over. There's the flash, and Diablo just gets solo killed by the Ashe. He does immediately go down, but he's got Peter here to try and defend.
So that's not a great
He does have a 2-level lead as Peter manages to find the cocoon. I don't know what the outcome's going to be as Clear is taking a lot of damage. Cuz is at full health and BDD comes over, finds the Orb of Deception, and down goes the Rel once again. Oh, I feel like Kellen's been the butt of every joke this game.
Leave Kellen alone!
Oh, it's so mean.
Guess what happens? Kellen dead.
Yeah, Kellen dead.
Try to kill Diablo in a 2v2. Believe it or not, again,
Kellen's dead.
Kellen's dead.
Oh,
He's just Kellen!
he is. He's just trying to be a horse, or at least metal pants that turn into a horse.
But that one, that's like a write-off. You can just, it's like when you,
Oh dear. Well, BDD is going to charm Raptor, and there's the cocoon as well. Oh, Peter with the follow-up. Absolutely beautiful. Vikla now trying to get something back onto Cuz.
I don't think we should.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. As another Spirit Rush. We're looking for some more essence here for this Ahri. Remember, there's no inner turret. And so the flash forward from Cuz, not punishable. And he's going to block the Justice Punch. There is, in fact, no justice for BNK here.
Peter, no!
Peter is looking to just kill Kellen before he inevitably dies. And he's not going to be able to do that. Down goes Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Vikla and Kellen initially, I think, just try to CC as Clear is very...
Oh, the public execution was cute.
The taxi out?
Yeah, gets over towards Puddock though, and he permanently slows him. Wow, that burst damage.
Wait, the turn?
Yeah, there's the two-man taunt coming through from Vikla, and immediately it is a dead Puddock. BDD comes in though, and now Peter is going to turn up. Vikla getting taken down solo Cuz, an absolute raid boss before he dies, and now BDD is getting the resets. Raptor trying to survive, but he gets charmed up and destroyed. And we said, give BDD a carry he can 1v9 on, and he's doing it.
They're behind.
Yeah.
Because they don't have front line. They have no one that can really face check outside of Pantheon just like walking up and eating.
They have Hawkshot though.
Yeah, they do have Hawkshot, but that's still, that's a pretty long cooldown.
Yeah.
So the composition just doesn't really work, but you have so much EC, so much damage, and because you're ahead, you have map control. For the in case you're not that adept at math, that's not good for your taxes.
Oh, thank you.
It's really bad news.
I'm not very good at taxes. Puddock is going to get the interrupt here onto Diablo, and BDD is just going to look for the charm, and they kill him before the heroic entrance comes in. Oh man, look at that. BDD just left his business card and got the heck out of there.
That's rude, okay? Diablo thought he was going for a 1v1. He's like, I want to try and win this one. And then he has help.
And Puddock took his time throwing that arrow as well.
The fun. Gonna try and get a different flavor of it.
Okay. His casting is going to get ganked, or is he? Kellen's going to turn up but a little bit late as the sleep comes through, public execution comes down, and casting will die, but at what cost? The Archon is going to be taken, Kellen almost dies, and BDD is taking an inner turret, or at least attempting to. Will pick up a teleport for his trouble, and the teleport of his own is going to get him towards that top lane while the rest of his team do deal with this Archon. That's going to be a bunch of flowers as well. And they'll continue to have a gigantic lead in almost every department.
Straight to enabling my 10 stacks Magi's carry.
Yep. BDD just putting that one together as we'll get a charge of Shelly. And Raptor does complete his second item. Riftmaker is now done. But KT stretching this lead to pretty ridiculous distances. Peter will be able to taxi his way over. In fact, just goes up and down.
Yes,
Yeah, clear. Can he find a public execution angle as the Magnus Storm onto 2? Flash out from Puddock as he gets sleepy but has the cleanse. And they should be able to get rid of Cuz. Casting has made his way in with that teleport, but he's now on the wrong side of the fight. Oh god, KT, this is so incredibly awkward. Everything sort of missing here is now Casting looking for his opportunity, looking for his angle. The bullet time, though, is going to be thrown over the top of the Aatrox, but he's pretty fed, to be perfectly honest, so it doesn't do very much damage. Now looking to go down, and there it is. It's clear that locks up the kill on his opposite number, and BNK get 2 for free.
This alone, not enough to make me not believe, but it is a little worrying.
Well, there is the charm, immediately followed up by the cleanse.
I can't believe he cleansed that and still lost 60% of his health.
I feel like every time anyone gets tagged by a slow, they're about to die. In Vicla's case, that was indeed what happened.
Who am I voting for again? Oh,
Cuz! Maybe it's Cuz! He's just gonna, man drop in. And say, have you heard that cool song? It's Raining Men. It's a nice one, and it was indeed, and he's going to take down a dragon at the same time.
Right there? That was what, like 1600 health?
There was absolutely no way they were going to do anything about it. Shattering Strike not going to do anything, and very, very dead is Callan. Now clear, could be in trouble. Casting on top of him, Vikla looking for an angle as the sleep comes down onto 2, but Cuz, no one could follow up on that one as in goes Casting, finds a huge double knock-up, the bullet time to try and answer, but there's a cocoon from Peter. Get this man! The POM is a double kill on a volley from Parduk is so good, and of course, Peter finds another one, the volatile Spiderling, another volley for a kill, and KT will ace BNK in trade for no one.
And with that, Callan stands alone.
Only because he respawned really quickly.
Watching the roller coaster crash down upon his Nexus Atlas.
Oh, in goes Cuz, taking up 2 Nexus turrets, but it's all just to kill Callan. There goes Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2 to follow, and a 3rd Nexus for KT to claim will get them their first match win of LCK 2025.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.